Now that is how you close out a 4-game series, ladies and gentlemen. Alek Manoah out there yesterday. Jays down 2-0 in the series. Manoah, big Puma, shoves. Whit Merrifield gets the key hit, the 3-run bomb, as the Jays won that game 3-1. But we headed in today facing Shane McClanahan. And we're all like, last 2 times we saw Shane McClanahan, it didn't go too well. However, this time, it's a different story. Jays win the finale 7-1. They hit, 3 home runs off of McClanahan. And with the W, the Jays split the 4-game set against the Rays. They're back to 19 games over the 500 mark at 86-67. And let's do some scoreboard watching here before we break down the ballgame. With the W today, the Jays now magic number 5. But then you scoreboard watch. And you look at the Baltimore Orioles losing in extra innings to the Houston Astros. That number now drops to 4. It's getting lower and lower by the day, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to win our ball games and good things are happening. And also, I kept seeing Seattle Mariner comments a while back. And I got nothing against Seattle, no doubt. But if you're going to talk a lot of trash, don't give up 11 runs in an inning to the Kansas City Royals and blow an 11-2 lead and lose 13-12. And take it in, Jays fans. The Mariners have now lost 3 consecutive series against teams double-digit below 500. The Angels, the Oakland A's, and now the Kansas City Royals. And with the W, the Jays obviously stay at 2 games up on the Rays. Such an important 2 games. Because obviously with Tampa Bay winning the season series 10-9, you look at the whole series, you look at it now, and it's like, okay, well, really you only have a 1-game lead, right? Because you can't end up tied. If you do, they jump you. And same goes for Seattle, right? We have a 2.5-game lead with them blowing that game today. And that's great. It's fantastic stuff for the Jays. However, they have the season series. So the Jays just got to continue to win ball games, and they did today. And that's what we're here to break down. Top of the 2nd inning. Shane McClanahan fires a 97-mile-an-hour fastball right down Broadway. And Alejandro Kirk does not miss it. He hits a missile to left field, and it's gone. And the Jays lead at 1-0. We move ahead to the top of the 3rd inning, and with Raimel Tapia on base, shout out Tapia because of the hustle infield single. He hit it up the middle, didn't have a lot of welly on it, and he boogied down the line, lost the bucket. I mean, what else? He always loses the bucket. And then George Springer comes up, and a wild pitch moves Tapia over to second base, but it didn't matter because George Springer drills the ball to right field. The question is, does it have the height? I mean, it's on a line, and it does. A 2-run shot for George Springer, and the Blue Jays lead at 3-0 off Shane McClanahan. And Ross Stripling so far doing a pretty good job. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Rays do Ray things. Taylor Wallace hits the double. Margot moves him over. Arozarena hits a sac fly to drive him in, and it's 3-1. Top of the 5th inning. McClanahan still in the hill. George Springer back up again. Meanwhile, he's 2 for 2 to this point. And he drills one to center field, and it's way out of here. But I think Shane McClanahan's hurt. Because what did he throw there to George Springer? It's a fastball. Well, how many times have we see him hit 98, 99, 100, through 94? Doesn't seem right. But I don't care. Well, I do, because I don't want to see any guys injured. But the Jays take advantage of it because the Rays are just pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. And they now lead at 4-0. George Springer's 3 for 3 on the day. A line drive single to start the ball game. And then 2 home runs. And beautiful things are happening. This ball game is far from over, though. You can't get too excited. Top of the 8th inning rolls around with Matt Chapman on base. He walked Teoscar Hernandez. There's been so much talk this year, and even I've said it quite a bit, where the mental mistakes aren't there, right? The lack of effort, this stuff. And it's been pretty ugly. But he hits a fastball down the middle, about 96. And he tattoos this ball just destroys it to left center, and he loved it. I mean, he stood there and enjoyed it for a few seconds like, oh my God, did I just hit that? He said, oh yeah, you did, Teo. And it's way gone. Clears the seats. I don't even know what you want to call it back there at the Trop. But it's a 2-run shot for Teo, and it blows the game wide open there. Jays now lead it 6-1. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Vladdy hits an RBI single to left field. Raimel Tapia comes in to score, but he had the lead out triple to start that inning, albeit Springer and Bo couldn't bring him in, so there was 2 out for Vladdy, and he brings him home, and that was Vladdy's first and only hit of the day, and the struggles continue for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the months of September. Let's get to the player stats, shall we? George Springer, have a day. You know that time of year, it's starting to get a little brisk outside, maybe not down in Tampa Bay, Florida, but up north, it's getting a little brisk. You know, the jacket's got to come out, those roots pants come out, hoodie's coming out, and it's time for George to, it's George Springer time, baby. It's this time of year where George really makes his money. And did he ever today? In a massive, massive game for the Toronto Blue Jays. He goes 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs, and he walked once. Got him his 4 of the 5 times that he came to the plate. George Springer was a menace at the plate today. Teoscar Hernandez also went 2 for 4 in the ballgame with a run scored, a couple RBIs, obviously on his home run. And Raimel Tapia down in the number 9 hole. He went 2 for 4, scored a couple runs, and that's obviously that infield single that he had. It was against the lefty Shane McClanahan. Can you imagine being a lefty in that situation, facing Shane McClanahan? That's ugly. That's ugly. But Tapia made it work, and he got on base and scored a run there in that situation. He scored 2 in the game. All right, 10 hits total for the Blue Jays, 8 strikeouts and 4 walks. And pitching-wise, Ross Stripling, he flirted with some danger at some points, but honestly, I thought he was okay. 5 innings, 6 hits allowed, only 1 run. I mean, and that's the key right there. 5 innings of 1-run ball, 3 strikeouts, didn't walk a batter. Just another day in the office for Chicken Strip, and just doing exactly what the Jays need, And we talked about it after the last Jose Barrios start about, it being a Ross Stripling Game 3, if it ends up happening kind of thing. Well, he just added to that today because this is a team in Tampa where you might actually play them. You might have to play this team. And see him go out there today and do what he did and kept them off balance for the majority part of this game. Really good job. Now, he only went 5 innings, only like 76 pitches, something like that. So the bullpen had to do some work, albeit they had the lead for the entire time. But Zach Pop, who's been great as a Toronto Blue Jay, he's got an ERA now sub-3. He went a clean inning on 1 hit, but that was it. Got a strikeout in that clean inning of work for him. And Adam Simber was phenomenal. This is peak Adam Simber. What we just saw today, that fastball up and in, up and away to Jose Siri. He struck out looking. Got another strikeout on the high fastball up and in. When you're throwing from that arm slot, when you can locate that fastball, even though it's not very fast, up and in or up and away from that arm slot, that is really tough to hit. And he did a really nice job. Oh, I think he got a nice easy ground out as well. And Trevor Richards went an inning of work, had a couple strikeouts, no base runners. And Yusei Flippin Kikuchi went out there today and hit the first guy on the first pitch he threw, and we're like, yep, that's about right. And then strikes out 2 because it's about right. And then walks a guy as well. They get Anthony Bass warmed up, but Kikuchi gets out of the inning and does not allow a run. Okay. Doesn't allow a run in his inning of work, and the Jays bullpen does not allow a run. Pop, Simber, Richards, Kikuchi, all putting up zeros in their outings, and it's really nice. You didn't have to use Romano. You didn't have to use Jimmy Garcia. You didn't have to use Anthony Bass. No Tim Meza, right? All these guys are ready to go for the Yankees series. Now, obviously, the Yankees series isn't as big as we were hoping it would be, but for the Yankees, they can clinch. I believe if they win 1 game against the Blue Jays, they clinch the American League East title, which they're going to clinch. At some point, whether the Jays go out there and sweep the Yankees and they got to do it away from Rogers Center, or one of these 3 games at Rogers Center, the Yankees are going to clinch. And I'm really hoping it's not the same day and the same game that the Jays, clinch the playoff spot, because that would kind of suck. It really would. I'll be at the first 2 games at the very least. I'll be there tomorrow night, and I will be there on Tuesday as well for sure. Now, if the Jays have an opportunity to clinch on Wednesday, I might try and get my rear end down there. But we'll see how that plays out moving forward. Great job by the pitching staff today. timely hits from your offense. You hit a lot of home runs, which, again, is kind of what this team likes to do. But against Tampa Bay Rays, doesn't happen very often. But a really nice job for the Jays finding a way to split at the Trop after losing the first two. Insane stuff, but credit these guys for not giving in and really going out there and putting their A-grade effort out there. Now, let's turn our focus to the Yankees series. Jays fans, we all know the number is 4, right? Our number to get in the playoffs is 4. And I'm not saying it's going to happen in this series because obviously it all depends on the Orioles and how they do as well. But this is how the pitching matchups are lined up. Luis Severino goes tomorrow versus Kevin Gausman. That's going to be a really good matchup at Rogers Center. That's a 7:07 first pitch there. Jameson Taillon versus Jose Barrios. That's the Game 2 matchup there at 7:07 on Tuesday night. And right now it's TBD for Wednesday. So that might change pretty quickly once it gets announced. I don't know how it's going to work. But either way, those are the two games. And how do you guys feel about this set against the Yankees? They've been playing some really good ball lately. Other than, the Jays went that 4-5 stretch where they lost 4 of 5. But other than that, they've won the last 2 games. And before that, they were beating the Sonic teams. And Jays fans, now I know it might jinx it and whatnot, but the Jays haven't lost a series in a damn long time. And you got to give these guys credit for that. The opponents they've been playing, the tough opponents they've been playing, the Phillies, the Rays a ton, the Red Sox a little bit, even though they're not great this year, they're still the Boston Red Sox. I don't care what anybody says. You've been playing, you haven't played the Yankees very much. But you took 3 of 4 against the Yankees there a little while ago, right? In the Bronx. So there's a lot of good things happening with the Toronto Blue Jays right now, but they just got to keep their foot on the gas pedal. The magic number is 4. And then you can celebrate. But until then, Game 1 goes tomorrow night between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Severino and Gausman is the pitching matchup. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game this afternoon. Smack the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays. The Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM, do that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Wednesday. Leafs edition is Game 3 of the preseason. Matt Murray gets his first start as a Toronto Maple Leaf against Montreal Canadiens at Scotiabank Arena, so we'll see how that plays out, even though it doesn't mean squat because it's preseason. But as for the Toronto Blue Jays, more important topic. They take on the Rays. No, not anymore, we don't. Thank God. We could possibly be done at the Trop this year. If the Jays stay in that number 1 seed, that's it. You're done. Because you'll have to play all 3 at Rogers Center, and one team's got to move on. Either we're knocked out, which I hope not, and the Rays move on to face somebody else, or we knock the Rays out, or if Seattle's in there and all that stuff. But either way, Jays fans, it could be the last time we go to the Trop this year. Thank God! Luis Severino, Kevin Gausman is the pitching matchup tomorrow night. Game 1 of the 3-game set at Rogers Center against the New York Yankees. Look, you go out there, you win a ball game, you focus on that, and then watch that magic number dwindle. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game this afternoon. We'll talk to you guys then.